Hello there, my name is David Pustansky and welcome to today's review of the Atari Jaguar game Kasumi Ninja. So without further ado, let's get into it. Pow! So, Kasumi Ninja is famously one of the worst fighting games of all time. Now, is that really fair? Like, I'm going to be honest, I quite like this game. Now, I've not got too many games on my Atari Jaguar, and recently I've been going back and playing lots of old games on old systems, and I'd never actually played this before, so when I was able to get a copy and I got my Jaguar out, I went in prepared for the worst. But actually, I had quite a lot of fun with it. So if you don't know what Kasumi Ninja is, one of the reasons people criticise it is that it's a Mortal Kombat clone. It came out in the mid-1990s, I forget which year exactly, and it got digitised graphics where they'd filmed actors and they do like fatality moves, like special moves at the end, and there's blood everywhere, and then yeah, it's a lot like Mortal Kombat, and people were like, well, this isn't as good as Mortal Kombat, and so therefore people said it was bad. But I think nowadays people say that it's a really bad game, when back in the day, like, the reviews were mixed. They were like average, and I'll be honest, I did have fun with it, and I think that it's more a case of there's not much right with it rather than there being anything particularly wrong with it. Now, there are loads of things which are like hilariously bad with it. The most famous of which is that you have the character Angus, who is a Scotsman, and he fires a fireball from under his kilt, and it's brilliant. I love it because I don't know, like, I don't know if Scottish people would be offended by the idea of a Scotsman lifting up his kilt, and I don't know why I have to do the accent every time, but it's so funny. The character Angus as well, he kind of looks like a cross between Groundskeeper Willie and like Van Gogh. Like, if you've seen the episode of Doctor Who where they meet Van Gogh, like the artist, he really looks like Angus. And all of the characters on there, I'm going to tell you about some of the characters on there, they're all kind of a little bit rubbish, and that's kind of what appeals to me about this particular game. Because look, you're not going to get this game brand new in the shops today. It's not trying to be #1 in the charts, so if you play it in a modern context, then you're going to have got it from like a second-hand shop, you're going to be playing a ROM, or you're going to have got it from eBay like I did. And depending how much you pay for it, you either want it as a collector's item, or you just want to experience how bad it is. So hopefully it's so bad it's good, and I think it is. The characters we've got, so let's go through them. We have Habaki and Senzo, and they are basically like ninjas in like their ninja outfits, and they're palette swap characters. So this is straight out of Mortal Kombat, with like Sub-Zero, Reptile and Scorpion, except for these guys, they look bad. I don't know if they got professional actors or martial artists to play any of these roles, but all of them look like discount bargain bin Mortal Kombat characters. And when you start the game, it's interesting because it comes up on the screen, and this is one of the things I like. It says like player 1, and then when you're against the computer, it says the Jaguar. It says Jaguar as the opponent, and I just think that's brilliant that this comes from an era where, like, this one is played by Jaguar, and it's like, Jaguar isn't a person, it's just the CPU. If it's the CPU, just put the CPU. The Jaguar isn't playing as this character. And then we get Chagi Nelson. Now, you start off with either Habaki or Senzo, and as soon as I like won one fight, one thing that's quite cool is in between every fight you get to choose which character you're going to play as. Now, in one sense it could be annoying, but it's not that annoying that you've got to choose your character every time, because it does at least give you the option to mix things up. So if you've learnt your strategy that going against one particular character, it would be good to play as this character, but this other character is stronger against that character, then you get to choose which character you take into each fight. Now, Chagi Nelson, it says here, I'm just looking at the Wikipedia about this because I do not remember all of the character bios. I have not committed them to memory. The great thing, it says Chagi is a 5-time world kickboxing champion, and this is your like your equivalent to like Ryu. This is your equivalent to any of like these martial artist characters that you get in Mortal Kombat and this type of game. Like the screen, which shows which character is against who, he's got like a really prominent cheekbone, which I always just found a little bit weird. Like, his graphics have been cut off weirdly. But anyway, I digress. And I played as Chaggy, and it's like, it sounds like they're saying Jackie. It sounds like Jackie, but it's Chaggy. And I played as him throughout most of the game. Yeah, I liked playing as this character. I'm not going to lie, I'm not the ultimate fighting game player. And so often what I'll do is I'll learn a couple of special moves, or I'll learn what I can do to get through fights, and then if I have to change up tactics going against a particular opponent, then I'll change up tactics. Otherwise I will spam the same move over and over again. And my spamming moves of choice in Kasumi Ninja was like the flying kick, or like the low kick. So it was kick high, and if they're blocking it, kick low, and occasionally I'd get in a throw or a side kick. And I was trying to get in some like special moves here or there, and I occasionally got some. I don't think I ever pulled off like a fatality, or if I did, the fatalities were really bad looking. But let's see who else we've got. Pakawa, which is the chief of the Tuwika Comanche fighting tribe. And this guy, like, he looks quite old. He looks very out of shape. Now maybe, you know, you shouldn't always just have characters that look utterly ripped, but like when you beat this character, and I think when you beat quite a few characters, they don't even always fall to the ground. Like in the case of Pakawa, he just goes down to one knee. It's actually quite funny. In fact, I think quite a lot of the characters just go to one knee. It's like they couldn't be bothered to do all of the animation. You get Thundra, who is the queen of the Lost Amazon warriors, and like, I'm not going to lie, she's no Sonya Blade. She's like basically like a glow female wrestler, and she doesn't look the best. Just like she isn't the poster girl for this game. And look, that's me like judging someone's appearance, but like I said, everyone looks a little bit bargain bin, like cheap knockoff version of the Mortal Kombat characters in this game. When you go against Thundra, she kind of does like the M. Bison, like flying across, and then she just like face plants like every single time. If you jump over her, she doesn't like just like fly across the screen and land gracefully on her feet. She flies across the screen and face plants. It's brilliant. This is a brilliant game just for how bad it is. Like, you can spam the same moves over and over again. Then you get Alaric, which is, look, talking about what characters look like, he is a discount Jack Black. So if you imagine Jack Black in School of Rock, then it could have been this was his stunt double. He's just got like long wild hair, he's wearing something that's kind of like a tunic, and he is like the king of goths or something like this. Ferocious goth tribe from Northern Europe. It's like, he's ridiculous looking, and I just don't think he's someone that should be in this game. He looks like someone's cousin that needed the work. That's honestly what this guy looks like in the game. And I know I'm judging their appearance a little bit, but these are the graphics in the game, so I'm judging the graphics of this game. We get Danja, who kind of is a bit like Catwoman, and she's alright, she kind of fits in there. In terms of the music, the only music that really stood out to me is the character Angus, the Scottish warrior that I mentioned earlier, just because, of course, he's Scottish, so his... I almost did a little bit of Sean Connery there. So, he's Scottish, so that is a tongue twister. So he, of course, has like bagpipe music, and yeah, it's just... It's really quite bad. And then you have like the main boss, because I think there's about 10 characters in this. You have like the 2 palette swaps at the beginning, Habaki and Senzo, and then Lord Gyaku, whoever he is at the end. He is a palette swap of those same characters. So if they were in blue and orange, or blue and yellow, whatever they were in, then you meet the same ninja and he's wearing black, and it's the final boss. And it has got the most hilariously bad final boss music that you will ever come across. It absolutely rips away all of the tension. And now here's the thing, there are some secrets in this game. So when I played the game, I was like, right, I'm playing this through, okay, it's easy enough, boom, I'm winning. And then it comes up with a screen saying, you have won the tournament. I was like, well, that was easy. And then it says, but now you must find Lord Gyaku. I was like, oh wow. Because here's the thing I forgot to say. The character select screen, for some reason, is like a first-person shooter. So you're in like a 3D room, and then you see like stone statues of the characters that you're going to select. You can see their bios, but then when you click on them, suddenly they come to life. and once you've defeated a character, the character you've defeated is stood there as a skeleton. That's quite cool, but you're going around this room to select your character in like a first-person view, and it's like the most overly elaborate and unnecessary way to choose a character in a fighting game I've ever seen. It's not bad, it's just, it's like, we're making a Atari Jaguar game, we've got to have some 3D space in here. And yeah, it's just the character select screen. So you get a key when you defeat Angus and Alaric and all these other characters. Once they're all defeated, you get a key, and then you can go and find Lord Gyaku. So you go to open this door, and it's like, you're on easy mode, so you need to play this on a more difficult level so that you can face the final boss. And I was like, well, that kind of sucks. Like, I didn't know it was on easy mode. So I switched the Jaguar off, I switched the Jaguar back on, and I see that the game defaults into easy mode. And I was like, well, that explains why this game was so easy. But also, why start it on like a mode so that you can't actually complete it and see the final boss? So I knocked it up to normal. Most of the time when I play any game, I'll have it on normal setting. And I went all the way through the game, and now I was against Lord Gyaku. And I fought him, and I beat him, and then he beat me. I was like, oh my god, so this is finally getting difficult because this character can teleport back and forth. And then I beat him again. Boom, boom, boom. And then it came up that there is another fight. So now I was on round 4. And I was like, my god, you have to at least get 3 wins here. It is best of 5. And I beat him. And I was like, yes. Ooh, it was close there. The final boss was a little bit more difficult, but I beat him, and now I've completed the game. Except it comes up, if you want to go against Lord Gyaku's demon form, you need to put this on a higher difficulty setting. I was like, this game's trolling me now. It's like, I had it on easy, didn't know it was on easy, because that's just how the game starts when you switch on the machine. And I went all the way through the fighters, and it was like, no, you need it to be on a higher difficulty level. So I put it onto normal, which I see is like the average, just normal. Normally, you'd be able to complete a game if you play it on normal mode. So I play it all the way through. I go against the final boss, and it says, if you want to meet his demon form, you've got to play this thing again. So I was like, Jesus. So I switch the thing off, I switch it back on, and I check now, and there's like a hard, and maybe they call it like ultra hard, or whatever they call this, like 4th difficulty level. So I was like, right, well, let's just skip to that. Let's get all the way through this again. Let's see what the final boss is like. And so I beat all of them, and then I go up against the final boss, and in this instance, he kicks my ass. So I'm like, screw this, I'm done. This is not the right way to make it so that you get replay value out of a game. You don't just make it so you have to play the game on easy, medium, difficult, hard, normal, ultra hard, and all these things just to be able to see everything. It's like, by this stage, I've been through it like 3 times, except for then I lost. So I didn't see the final demon boss, but truthfully, I got my fix. Now, I can appreciate all of the things that are bad about it, and I do, and I actually do have quite a lot of fun playing this game. This isn't going to be a game that I come back to over and over and over again, because let's face it, in today's world, we've got decades worth of other games that we can play. But this is, for an Atari Jaguar game, a bit of fun. It's not great, and nowadays I'd say that's actually one of its strengths, because you can go and play Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 or Mortal Kombat Trilogy and stuff like this, and have this finely balanced game and have all these fatalities and things to learn, or you can play this, where it is just like, let's play this and laugh at certain things that aren't so great about it. But more than that, I would say this is a game, there's not that much wrong with it, there's just not that much right with it, let's put it that way. So anyway, that's my review of Kasumi Ninja. Hope you enjoyed this review. If I had to give it a star rating out of 5, I would give this, in one sense, for it being bad, and bad but good, I'd say this is 5 out of 5. But realistically, to be able to play this game as a Jaguar game in 2022, which is when I'm recording this, I'd say it's a 3 out of 5. It's not as bad as people say, it's just not that good. If you want to say that I'm being over generous, then say 2.5 out of 5. So, with this, make sure you smash the subscribe button. We've got a lot of different YouTube channels here on the XSTREAMED network. And so do make sure you check out all of the different YouTube channels we've got. This is the Geek Battle gaming one, then we have Geek Battle where we talk about a lot of pop culture stuff, and we have the Extreme Improv one where we do a lot of comedy shows and do a lot of improv. Check out our website, we've got a couple of them, at geekbattle.tv or extreamed.tv, which is XSTREAMED.tv. My name is David Pustansky. Make sure you check out all the other videos we've got. We've been doing a lot of reviews on retro themed machines like the Atari VCS or on the Evercade. There's the website again if you want to check it out. And ciao for now. Boom! And Kasumi Ninja!